What's up? This is your girl JC, and welcome to the first episode from my podcast, From Ashes to Armor. I am so glad you guys are here with me today, and I pray that you guys take something from this today that's going to help you guys in your present situations. We're going to dive right in, and your girl got notes because your girl can ramble, and on top of that, your girl can be forgetful, and I want to make sure that a few key points are said because I feel they're very important for our success. Okay? So let's go right in. The first episode is called Struggles, Storms, and Faith. All right. And you're going to see through my videos that I'm going to be talking, or I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys and talk about situations that have gone through in the past or that I'm currently going through right now. And today we're going to talk about a situation that I'm currently going through just to put things in better perspective to you guys. So I've been unemployed since February 24th, 2025, and today is September 13th, 2025. It's been about 7 months or going on 7 months. It has been insane, this journey, mentally, emotionally, even physically. And I want to talk about the strain that it did on my mind, though, because the enemy is a liar. The enemy will use anything it can to come at you and try to knock you down. And it made me laugh, though, because the enemy tried using lies that he used to tell me back in the day. Oh, yeah. So one thing that comes along from applying to places is the rejection emails. And I got so many of them. When I tell you guys, I applied to over 200 places, over 200 employers I went to. And I've gotten rejection email after rejection email. And obviously, it's connected to the phone. It comes in. I see the notification. And there were days where I even cried because the enemy will put lies in there like, see, you're not worthy. Not even employers want you, etc., etc., etc. Even things are not going to get better. Excuse me. I rebuke you. Whether it's me putting those thoughts or the enemy putting those thoughts, we are not doing that. We are not doing that. And in those moments, we have to remember his words. I actually have this written down here for me to remember his words. Okay. And what do I mean by remembering his words? Remembering God's words is we have a whole Bible. We have a whole Bible. And on top of that, most of us have received word from him, whether it's through another person, whether it's through a sermon, whether it's while reading the Bible, whether it's you directly hearing it from him, getting it from a dream. We have received word from him, whether it's what we're going to be doing in the future, how he's going to fix something, whether it's about our heart. And we need to remember these things, especially when the enemy is trying to put lies in our mind, or we ourselves try to put thoughts in our head that do not belong there. We need to remember the truth. And it's what God spoke over us, all right? And to this, I want to talk about the story when God walked on the water. What does that have to do with this, Jay? What does God walking on water have to do with this? Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you right now. So we all know that Jesus told them, the disciples, to get into a very small boat and to go to the other side of the ocean, to the other side of the shore, right? Great. So as they're going, my assumption from what I have seen from historians talking or something, they kind of calculated it's about an 8-hour road. Not sure. Don't exactly quote me on that. Do your own research, please. But let's just say it's 8 hours to get to the other side, okay? So they're about 4 or 5 hours in or whatever from rowing. This storm is going insane. The storm is going insane, okay? As they get closer to the shore line, the storm obviously is going to get worse. Well, in real life, it gets worse the closer we get. The storm was insane. They're closer to the shoreline now than what they were from where they came from, okay? And they see this figure walking on water coming towards them, and their first instinct is they get scared. And now, the reason why they get scared is because back in those times, there were rumors or stories or whatever of spirits or ghosts walking on water and, and all that good stuff. So they get scared. And then Jesus tells them, take heart, it is I, do not be afraid. Matthew 14:27. Now, first, I want to take heart. What does that mean? Stay hopeful and courageous during challenging times. So Peter, which we all know is the bold one, Peter's like, well, if it really is you, tell me to come to you. So Jesus was like, all right, come to me. And he stepped out in faith. After the Lord's confirmation, he didn't lean on his own understanding. He didn't sit there and stay scared and because he thinks it's a ghost. He didn't lean on his own understanding. He heard the confirmation and he went out in faith. We can't walk on water. He walked on water to the Lord. But then he got scared as he got to Jesus. He became doubtful and started sinking in. But what did Jesus do in that very moment? What did he do? He reached out and grabbed Peter and brought him back up. And they went and they got into the boat. But when he got him back up, he said something along the lines of, oh, my son with little faith, why do you have so much doubt? Right? I want to highlight that because it just shows, number one, the grace and patience that the Lord has with us. It also shows the permission that he gives us to ask questions and to ask for confirmation. A lot of times we're in our situation and we'll get confirmation 1, 2, 3 times and we're still asking for confirmation. Still asking for confirmation. And there's times that I become hard on myself. Like, I'm like, why would I do that? He already spoke to you. And I'm sharing this with you guys so you can also show yourself a little grace and a little patience. We're human. We are learning. Okay. Now, what I also want to highlight is that for us to go through our struggles and our storms, they are required. And I'm only talking about the ones that God allows to happen, not the ones that we caused the mess for ourselves, not the ones that because we leaned on our own understanding, not because we went and sinned and now we have repercussions or consequences, right? Now, I'm not talking about those trials and storms and stuff. I'm talking about the ones that pointed by God, the ones that he allows for us to happen. And the reason why he allows certain ones to happen is because we need to learn and grow. And the best way for us to learn and grow is through adversity, especially us little hard-headed ones around here. We kind of need that. Now, what I want to point out is when we learn, that's God correcting us. And when we grow, that's God perfecting us. And that happens in order for us to go to the next level. We don't need to stay stagnant. And he wants to give us so much, but he wants to prepare us for it. So how better to equip us than to go through things? We learn it, we receive it, we grab that wisdom, and boom, we keep pushing forward. Now, another thing I want to mention is not once did the disciples say, well, we should go back because this storm is crazy. This storm is getting a little too much. Like, we might die. We should go back. Not once did they turn that boat and go back. And they were far in, not once. But what do we do? What do we do? There's been plenty of times that we'll put ourselves back in the situation we were leaving from because the storm gets crazy. And what boggles my mind, and the reason why I mentioned the distance from where they were at and how they were closer to reaching the shore than where they were from where they were coming from, is because when they were getting closest to their destination is when Jesus showed up. Haven't we had moments like that where when we feel like we can't breathe, when we feel like we're desperate, when we feel desperate, when we feel like, oh my God, I need a solution right now. I can't do this anymore. And we just start going insane and are spiraling in our head and we're freaking out. We're freaking out. It's getting insane. It's getting crazy, man. It's getting crazy. I need a solution right now. This needs to get fixed right now. I don't know what to do. And we just keep going. When we get to that point is when we are so close to the destination. We are so close for the blessing. We are so close to the solution. And what do we do sometimes? We'll turn back. We'll turn back. It's like me going back to, because plenty of times during this situation that I'm in right now, being unemployed, I was like, man, I should have stayed in that toxic environment. I should have stayed there because at least I would have been getting my paycheck. But it was destroying my mental health. It was destroying me emotionally. Mentally, sometimes I would cry to go to work. I didn't want to go. But I had the audacity of wanting to go back to something that God took me out of. And we'll do that. God will remove us from relationships that we shouldn't have been in. And then we go running back because it just gets so overwhelming. And then we're going to go through the same hell that we were going through with the person. No, not once did any of the disciples go back or decide to go back or even talk about going back. They heard the direction from the Lord. They said yes, and they kept it pushing no matter the adversity that came to them, which was a crazy storm. And they're in a little boat. They're not even a big sailboat or nothing. Okay. And I think that is so important because when we are the closest to our destination is when sometimes we give up and we go back to our old ways or go back to whatever situation where we're coming out from. And that is not what the Lord wants us to do. It's not. And I'm going to say this again. This is only for the trials that He is allowing us to go through, not the ones that we cause to ourselves. This does not apply to that. Okay? It does not. And it's normal to feel fear when you're getting out of your comfort zone. Okay? They were scared when they saw him. Peter was scared when he got out of the water. And we can't walk on water. We can't do that. He knows we can't do that. But he still stepped out in faith. And even when he doubted again, even when his faith dwindled down, Jesus still came with all his patience, all his grace, and said, "Come, my child. I don't know why you doubt so much when you know I got you. You know I got you. Cocotazo, pa que aprenda." You know what I mean? Another thing that I actually want to say is, at least with me, people have always said, "Oh, JC, you're so strong." I've been hearing that for over 10 years. JC, you're such a strong woman. You're such a strong person. JC, you're Wonder Woman. And I would get called Wonder Woman all the time. And I've always hated that. And now I understand why I hated that. And the reason why I hate it is because I always had an understanding that this wasn't my strength. This is a supernatural strength, okay? Because I am human. I can be weak. I get exhausted. I do. I do. And the strength that I have felt throughout all these years where people call me strong, that's the Lord. That's God in me. That's the Lord working through me. The Lord is strong in me. And so since He is giving me the strength, I can therefore be strong. So what I would love for people to see when they look at me is to see the strength of God through me and how He sustained me. It's just the same way as the Lord supernaturally sustained Peter because he got out of his comfort zone. When Peter came out of the water and he doubted and he sank back in, first of all, when he walked on the water, the Lord was sustaining him. The Lord was holding him over that water. He was not letting him fall and drown. And even when he doubted and he started going down in the water, the Lord still sustained him. The Lord grabbed him back up and kept him up. That is the supernatural strength that people saw in me all these years. I'm not Wonder Woman. I'm nowhere near it. And I just think that it's just so important for us to understand that when we have this faith and we just rely on the Lord and His will and His understanding and we give it all to Him, He will sustain us. Period. No matter how bad it looks, no matter how bad it's getting, all the doors are closing. But we have to have an understanding that there's already a door open. The Lord already figured it out. If we give it to Him, fully surrender it to Him, the Lord already has it figured out. The thing is, He's working in the spiritual, we are in the physical. The solution has already been done in the spiritual realm, and it takes some time to come to the physical realm. It does. So what do? What can we all do? Stay in His presence. Thank Him as much as you can. I thank Him for my income. I don't even thank Him for a job anymore. I say, "Thank you, Lord, for the income you have given me, for the job, for the line of income you have given me." It could be anything at this point. So I'm thanking Him for the solution He already gave me, even though I don't have it yet. I'm thanking him for it. I'm thanking him for my own place that I don't have yet, but I know I'm going to have. I thank him for the car. I thank him for everything like I already have it, because I know he already worked that out and I'm just waiting to see it here. We need to step out in faith. We need to have this understanding so we can maneuver through this, because we're not just fighting in the physical. This is a spiritual fight between good and evil. And the enemy will try to use everything it can. The enemy monitors, it looks at you, it watches you, so it knows how to attack. So it might not be the way we want it to be, but his understanding is way greater than ours. So I want his will over mine. Therefore, no matter how my circumstances look, no matter how many doors are closing and slamming in my face, I am walking through them. Even if I have tears in my face, rolling down my eyes and everything, I don't care. I am still pushing through, because I know God has a greater purpose for me. I know God has something better out there for me. And maybe I'm thinking too small. Maybe I shouldn't be applying to the jobs that I'm applying to. Who knows? He knows. I don't. So I'm going to keep doing my part in the physical realm, like applying to jobs. If he puts business ideas in my mind, start researching that, learning about that, right? And what else? Staying in his presence, thanking the Lord, worshiping him, reading up on his word. You do these things, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, everything's going to work out when you least expect it. He is a God of suddenly, and it's just going to boom. And then you're going to be like, oh, no wonder. Oh. So with that being said, guys, step out in faith. Walk on that water with Jesus during the storm, and you're going to see his will work in your life. All right? Don't look back. Don't go back to that crazy stuff. No, you better not go back there. You're moving forward for a reason. So we're going to keep pushing forward with the Lord. All right, guys? So with that being said, keep your faith up. I love ya. And through this, you're going to see your ashes turn into armor.